What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Week 8 SWOLECAST here on RotoGrinders.com. David Kitchen, joined by my three fellows. We got Peter Overzet, we got Davis Mattek, and we have Mr. Tuttle 05. Guys, how's it going?
Nice of you to show up, David.
Yep. Well, we are starting on time, and that's all you need to know. I will be focused 100% on this show. I would request that Davis, you listen closely to this show because you need all of the help that you can get.
Just need Mark Andrews to hold on to his passes. If Mark Andrews would just catch his passes, things would be fine.
For those that did not listen to the Gilcast, Davis is on a little bit of a losing streak.
Judging by the download numbers, I don't think anyone has not listened to the Gilcast this week.
What I found interesting, well, I think I actually checked the download numbers. Oh, yours might be different because they're simulcasted. But what I thought was interesting is like week 1, you gave Peter this big spiel about, hey, you just play the projections. That's all you got to do. Whatever the numbers say, that's what you do. On the Gilcast, you mentioned that you didn't play Darren Waller because you were following a high-stakes player. Like
that's
that
not
was
even
your
accurate.
reason.
It wasn't even Waller. It was Carrion versus Latavius.
It was Latavius Murray. You said for the tight end, the projections said to play Waller, but you went with your gut and played Mark Andrews.
Well, it wasn't really necessarily a gut thing. I just like Andrews better. Like
I know. I guess I'm trying to figure out why you would scold Peter in week 1 about how you just use the projections, and in week 8 you basically pull a Peter, and when you pulled a Peter, it backfired on you.
Wait, time out. What's pulling a Peter?
Yeah, it sounds very sexual is what it sounds like to me. Is that like a new word for masturbation? Is that like what the new kids are saying?
Please, Tuttle, please spell it out next time. All right, Peter, I want you to give your take on Davis's losing streak. I know you haven't been so hot yourself, but and maybe what you think about him not using the projections like he scolded you on week 1.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know why Davis isn't running the optimal every day and just exporting. I mean, it's just an easy game. Look, no, seriously, I'm like ever since the Blitz Optimal shipped everything, I've just been exporting it and mass entering it in every contest. And,
have you been playing Teddy Bridgewater every week then?
Yeah.
Not last week.
But no, I do appreciate having the floor, Dave. I would like to give the Overzet overview of the week, and
thank you.
You know, I've been reading the comments on the show, and I do really agree with people that we're dicking around too much.
Yep.
And I think it's finally time we make these viewers some money. I don't know about you guys, but I know I'm playing my cards a little close to the vest, not always giving my best plays, and I'm ready to usher in a new era of transparency and helping our viewers win money. What do we say, guys?
Yeah, let's do that because I did.
No funny business. No funny business. Definitely not a mailbag.
All right, Mike Honcho, because I recorded some of these quotes. Mike Honcho, he said, "What's so funny? I'm here for info, and I'm hearing 4 grown men giggling like schoolgirls when anyone says literally anything. Brutal. If you made it all the way through, please explain how and what drugs or drink you on." The other one said, the flip side said, Shane Clement, he says, "I feel like I should hate this pod, but you 4 MFers crack me up. Keep up the good work." You know, Shane, you DM the RotoGrinders account. We've got some swag we want to send you.
Do we got the fanny packs in?
Fanny packs are being worked on.
No, next week. Next week.
We'll have them in a week.
I can attest. I have seen proof of these existing. I can, verify that Dave and Simon are hard at work, and I think we have a proof of concept, right, Dave?
We have a proof of concept. We're not going to release it yet, but 2021 fanny packs lit when they go back out of style. Brian Demain, he is also going. I'm going to put his name on the list for, if you're out there, Brian. I'm going to put your name on the list for the first SWOLECAST shipment of fanny packs because he put Mattek's voice is rad branding, because Davis has got some he got some harsh feedback after last week's show. Mattek's voice is rad branding, terrible take. Corey Davis got 20 DraftKings points. I liked it. I played Corey Davis as well.
Oh, good for you, Dave.
Just because you're a Tennessee stan. That's the only reason you played him.
He had 4 targets with Tannehill in this.
Good job. I'm not standing. I don't have pants on, but.
All right, so let's talk about the Overzet's overview of the week. We've got speaking of Corey Davis, we have some cheap quarterbacks. This week, we have some interesting news as far as the running backs. This feels like maybe this feels like kind of a spread out ownership week. Not a lot of like locks initially. Of course, news can change that. But Tuttle, tell us what you are seeing out there.
I'm uninspired this week. I mean, I'm uninspired most weeks, but this week is just, I mean.
Big change. Tuttle really coming into this week with a shocking lack of enthusiasm.
The highlight for Tuttle.
It's tough to get it up this week. It's tough.
Uninspired this week. Yeah, because like you can't, there's not any really locks, right? I mean, maybe.
Well, there are a couple locks.
I mean, DeAndre Hopkins makes me excited.
Maybe Michael Thomas.
But that's the thing. Michael Thomas is probably the better cash game play, especially if Drew. Well, we see the Drew Brees, Teddy Bridgewater splits. It doesn't matter who's throwing Michael Thomas the ball. He's going to get 10 targets and 77 yards and a touchdown every game anyway. But yeah, I mean, running back, it's like you might be playing Sony Michel. Who wants to do that?
No, there's no way. You like people would. All of the questionable running backs would have to be playing, I think, to get you off of Sony or to get you on Sony and cash.
Davis
go to your
Davis
website.
Hasn't looked at his own website's projections.
Oh, I've seen the projection. Trust me, I've seen the projection. I will not be playing optimal number 1 from DailyRoto.com if it includes Sony Michel. So
it includes Sony Michel, James White,
yeah,
Cole Beasley. D.D. Westbrook.
Dude, I can't even. This has been a Cole Beasley holy war that's been raged for like 2 weeks in our secret, like in our work Slack. It's been secret. Did
you just give up a
trade secret?
Trade secret. There's a secret chat.
Well, I'm used to calling it like secret Slack in the Daily Roto sub Slack, but obviously we have a work Slack. Everyone does.
Yeah. All right. So as far as Davis, like your view of the week, what's it going to be like? Let's just assume that Alvin Kamara is playing this week.
We assume Alvin Kamara. Well, I think that even if Alvin Kamara does play, in my runs, I'm going to be projecting the New Orleans running backs more like the historical Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram splits as opposed to the splits that they've had this year, because it sounds like Kamara, it's Thursday. He's not practiced yet. Now, he's still listed as questionable. He still might play. But I think with them as 10-point home favorites, you just kind of have to expect that split being more favored, especially with how well Murray played last week. On the other hand, if DJ doesn't go, I'm putting the lock button on Chase Edmonds. I just can't imagine not playing him.
I mean, he's not cheap. He's 6,200 on DraftKings.
He's not cheap, but he's the only running back because DJ Foster is not going to be active either. That's why they signed 2 running backs. And, maybe Zach Zenner plays 3 third downs or something like he did last week for Latavius Murray. Big revenge game coming in for Zach Zenner here against his former team, the New Orleans Saints, that he played 6 snaps for. And Alf probably won't get a touch at all, I'd imagine.
I like it. I like the revenge narrative.
Yeah, so big revenge narrative.
I have a running back question. Because it was 2 weeks ago when Christian McCaffrey went off against the Jags, and every single cash game chalk donkey on Twitter said he's the free square. You play him every week. You don't think about it. And yet here we are.
No, he's all the truthers.
He's 9,200, and no one's talking about playing Christian McCaffrey this week against the 49ers. So is he the free square, or is everyone a fraud?
Let's hear Davis.
Everyone's a fraud. Let me go. Sure. Should I go find Draft Cheats tweet and read it? Let me someone vamp for me. Will I go find Draft Cheats tweet?
Tuttle, does defenses matter when it comes to Christian McCaffrey this week?
No.
You just play him. But
he will get
he's not going to be chalked this week. To Peter's point,
he's not going to be chalked. He's going to see. This is a spot where you can see 10 plus targets too.
Yeah.
The defense don't matter dolts are going to get a nice wake-up call playing CMC versus the 49ers this week. I've already screenshotted this tweet for when Peter deletes this on Sunday. So I'm just really hoping for a nice 32 burger from Christian McCaffrey.
All right, let's talk about the quarterbacks this week, and then we'll get on to the DraftKings lineup. But let's just go ahead and start with Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, the only logical place to start.
The only logical.
And the mailbag question, Drew said, how long will it take before you tout?
Was that the only mailbag question you got?
No, we got a few of them. We'll answer them at the end of the show.
We should have had someone with more Twitter followers ask it though.
Yeah.
Not enough reach, Dave.
Well, I wanted like informed Twitter followers and not like fish.
I'm sure all the people still left following you were pretty informed.
How embarrassing is it that Socrdave has more Twitter followers than me?
That's pretty bad.
That's embarrassing.
People like good tweets.
You got to promote the community engagement, Tuttle.
Yeah. How is it that Overzet doesn't have 10K followers yet? I feel like him being on the show without having 10K Twitter followers is like just a huge plus to his brand. And yeah,
he doesn't chill enough.
I work hard to alienate my followers, so it's. I probably lose one for every one I gain whenever I promote a counselor tweet. So it's basically the Venn diagram of people who love me and the counselor, and that's the audience.
All right,
me and counselor were like the same person on Sunday.
Okay, I'm actually going through these mailbags, and there's one I'm just dying to the answer to.
Let's. There's a few FMKs in here.
Yes, I need just
people love it. No.
Let Peter get his out of the way. I want to know.
No. Wait, I gotta wait to the end. We got to get to some content this week.
Okay,
so
hold up then.
Quarterbacks.
I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna come. I'll be right back. I need to influence Peter before he answers this question.
Okay.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Anyways, quarterback Davis. Let's start with the low-price quarterbacks. How we've got we don't have any value on the slate as far as positional players. So does that mean you're more apt to spend on a low-price quarterback like Ryan Tannehill against Tampa Bay this week?
I'm really trying to talk myself into one of these value guys. Like if I could talk myself into, Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew, someone like that, my life would be a lot easier. But I really do just keep going towards Matt Stafford, $6,100 on DraftKings. He is having, this is a true story, that he is having the best season of his career. This is even better than his 5,000-yard season in terms of EPA added and yards per attempt. I thought Darrell Bevell was going to be a horrible hire, but he has basically just figured out exactly what Matt Stafford is good at and had him do that every snap. And I also think that the Kerryon Johnson injury probably shifts them, maybe 2-3% more pass heavy. So Stafford might be he just might be the number one quarterback option this week.
The issue is that he's 6,100. It's not like if you need 1,000 or 1,100.
No more. You've done your Tannehill thing.
Oh my! Do we have kitchen kimono right now?
I just had to slip on something a little bit more comfortable for the show.
Jeez, I don't know what.
Mister, I'm not feeling inspired with the inspired mid-show costume change.
Dude, I just really want you to F me is what I'm going for here.
All right. Let's, Tuttle, we're talking about quarterbacks. Davis says you just lock button Stafford. And
I did not say that.
Let's do it, man.
All right. Peter, what's your take on the quarterback situation?
Yeah, this is the thing. The reason I don't mind Stafford is so the old paradigm was you played the buy low guys, the regression candidates. Now everyone's on those guys. The new paradigm is you
just
chase
to play the
box
good plays.
So you play Stephon Diggs after he blows up. You play Fuller after he blows up. Now you go back to Stafford and Marvin Jones. No one's going to play Marvin Jones this week. He just had 4 touchdowns and 11 targets. I'm just running it back. Pete, box score chaser. That's what we do around here now.
I mean, again, the issue is that you've got the 3 tiers. Like, there's not a concentrated bunch of quarterbacks you play. Like, there's Deshaun Watson in a very delicious matchup against Oakland. Like, he's like the top quarterback play if salary doesn't matter, correct?
Yeah, but he just is unplayable in like cash game formats,
right.
And even in single entry or 3 max, you're still having to play like one play you really don't like.
Why is he unplayable?
Because he's 7,100.
So?
Well, you can't play Michael Thomas.
Davis doesn't want to play. Davis just doesn't want to play the Sony Michel lock of the week.
Yeah, he doesn't want to play Deshaun Johnson.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or Deshaun Hamilton.
No, I'm not playing Deshaun. I like Deshaun Hamilton, but I won't play him.
He's like 3,300 this week.
You get the natural cheap Kenny Stills pairing with Deshaun.
That's why I think he's so. I think that's why I think he's so great for single entry and 3 max. But like, you're also probably playing like the worst of the tight end options in terms of like the playable guys, and you're probably playing Ty Johnson in those formats. Like, and I like Ty Johnson, but there is a wide range of outcomes with his projection this week. I actually
you can get D-Wall with your Watson builds if you're not a beta.
You still got to play someone else thin, though.
Speaking of Wall, Derek Carr is 5K.
Yeah.
So we'll give you 3 options on DK. Derek Carr, Mitch Trubisky, or Ryan Tannehill. Tuttle?
I mean, it's Tannehill.
Okay. Peter?
You just set up this question to get us.
No. These are the 3. Davis, you want to make it 3 for 3?
I'll take Carr. I'm not gonna let I had to one of the guys in my home fantasy league was like asking about Ryan Tannehill in our group chat, and I said we have a 7-year sample of him being one of like the 5 worst quarterbacks in the league. We have a 1-game sample of him looking good. Which one are you going to believe? And apparently Socrdave has answered this question for everybody.
Well, no, I was kind of surprised. I mean, both the RG projections and the Blitz projections have Derek Carr above Ryan Tannehill this week. So I was just curious to get your guys' take on it. And you guys are all Tannehill stands. What a bunch of fish.
One thing about, I would say, points in favor of Carr throwing more is it sounds like Josh Jacobs is legitimately questionable, at which point they're rolling out DeAndre Washington and Jalen Richard. And I think
Jalen Richard is now questionable as well.
Then kids, go pick up DeAndre
Time for
Washington.
some Friday FFPC bids, Pete.
That's right. But they should throw more. And isn't Tyrell Williams coming back this week too? Chow hasn't messaged me in our secret group chat yet.
What was Chow's Patrick Mahomes take?
He was like, dude, he's done. He's done. He's out for the year.
He's done. Tyrell Williams practiced today.
If you just check out ProFootballDoctor.com, and all you got to do is put your email in. It doesn't cost anything. You have to put your credit card number in. But Patrick Mahomes is injured, in my professional opinion.
All right. Patrick Mahomes
it looked like they popped his knee back in place.
Oh, God.
Took second-team reps today. All right,
really started off as a joke. But
let's go ahead and build lineups. And
winner.
Get this show back on track.
Real quick, speaking about cash game builds on DK, if you're a real alpha, you play Watson and Stills, and then you also play DeAndre Hopkins over Michael Thomas.
Don't do that.
That's the true alpha status right there.
The double stack and bring it back with Waller.
Double stack.
Someone definitely, like, all the people who listen to the Gilcast are like, dude, when are you posting your games in the lobby? Can't wait to take one. And like, I'm definitely gonna get beat by like double tight end teams, or like Kiki Cutie in cash. Like, this stuff is just gonna happen to me.
When you fade the lock of the week in Latavius Murray and the second lock of the week in Darren Waller, then bad stuff's gonna happen.
My favorite weekly Twitter threads are Davis going back and forth with people about playing him heads up. Send me an invite, man. Oh, I'm not really interested in doing a full year series.
I don't ever tell people to send me invites. If they send them to me, maybe I will play them.
I bet we could find a Davis Mattek tweet.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure, yes. 100%. I'm sure, yes. At some point, I was probably like, send me a game.
Davis Mattek.
When Davis is winning, he's an alpha when it comes to like Twitter confrontations.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
When
less
he's
easy to do
losing-
that when you're on a 10K downswing, it's a little bit more difficult.
I saw you wake up this morning and immediately reply to a tweet about you getting Ty Johnson in overnight waivers. Like, you woke up knowing you had to send that.
September 9th, I had games posted at those levels. If you would really like to play and my games are gone by then, you are welcome to send an invite. I don't understand why you feel the need to constantly nag me, but if it's important to you, we can play.
What a beta. The best
September
part.
9th, I was probably winning then.
The best part of the Guildcast is when Davis's highlight. He's like, I just have to take a second to mention that who was it? Is it DJ Shark?
No, it's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Won me like 3 seasonal matchups.
Said that was the most important for his seasonal dynasty matchup. But at that point, you knew that.
No,
it was
I mean at this point, I'm gonna have to win the Fantasy Football Players Championship to get even on the.
All right, so Davis, you're gonna go last in today's DraftKings pick'em, and Tuttle, with that kimono, you're going first.
Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, you really jumped this on me. Let's go DeAndre Hopkins.
D-Hop, Nuke. All right, Peter.
All right, let's bring it back with Waller.
I haven't listened to his track yet.
Dude, it bumps. It's
Waller?
legitimately good. His album.
I'm gonna go with Corey Davis.
Was he back at practice?
Dude, how is it possible Kitchen is beating me in DFS this year?
Probably because I play Latavius Murray and Darren Waller.
Well,
And-
Kitchen tails the right high stakes guys.
All right.
You guys don't want to know who I told to play carry on over Murray this past week.
Uh-oh.
Old FI friend jumped in my DMs.
No way did you tell Fink to play carry?
Who was it?
Steve
Fink, bro.
Oh.
I felt bad after that one.
Oh gosh. All right. Let's go, Davis.
Let's go Odell Beckham Jr. Probably the lowest ownership you're going to get on him and the lowest price you're going to see on him all year.
You know, I don't hate it for 6,500 for Odell.
This
feel
is
like
a cash team. If I
this is cash.
This
for
is,
sure.
yeah, we need to remind everyone.
All right, Tuttle.
Oh wow, back to me, huh?
Yep.
That's how this works, I guess. All right, since we don't have a running back, I guess we should do one of those guys, huh? Let us go with Sony Michel.
You know, I think I honestly would like to play James White over Sony Michel. We'll talk about that later.
On DraftKings, sure, yeah. And I guess that's where we're doing the lineup, but
Yeah.
I'm sticking with Sony just to own the libs.
Got it. Peter?
All right, I mean, we need a quarterback, right? They won't let you submit this if the quarterback's empty.
That's what they tell me, yeah.
And our options right now, if we
Trubisky.
want to stack this. Oh, yeah, we want a naked Trubisky?
Yeah.
Let's just go Watson then here with we can get Tuttle's cash lineup going here.
Oh gosh, there's a good pairing, another pairing, not named Kenny Stills.
All right. I'm going to go with the Chargers defense, and just so we can have some salary to play with.
That's a good play on the road. They've been really good this year.
On the road, but you know what? They get to play.
I like the Chargers defense.
They get to play Mitch Trubisky.
Trubisky is one of the all-time bloats.
Yeah, and to be fair, the Chargers have been really good this year too.
Okay.
Defensively.
So that leaves us with 10-5 for two positions. Can't name the last position, but we can do Schmimes with.
Is it my pick again?
Tuttle, you're up.
I have a terrible take for you.
Let's go. Want to hear it?
I mean, it doesn't really set up well, game script wise, but it goes with the stack. Duke Johnson.
Ugh.
Duke Johnson week. 3,800 on DraftKings.
Yeah.
He has double digits in him this week.
And Oakland is decent against the run, so maybe if they stuff Carlos Hyde,
just dump it down,
fill the need.
Yeah.
And you have no Fuller, so again, maybe he gets some passes. Actually, I'm tilted with the lack of Duke Johnson usage this season.
The Duke Johnson truthers, they'll never go anywhere.
Nope, not going anywhere. Especially for
like
3,800 on DraftKings.
It's like they'll literally never die.
Hey Davis, are you still a Justice Hill truther?
Yeah.
Awkward.
Delaney Walker over Justice Hill in the 8th round turns out mega mind sharp.
Who was the Panthers wide receiver that who was that?
DJ Moore?
No, this is from like 4 years ago. Panthers wide receiver that every single year.
Stephen Hill?
Yes.
He plays for the Jets, though.
Did he?
He got cut, and then, at one point was probably on the Panthers practice squad.
In your flex spot, you could actually go with Schmeich Schmevens at 6,600 if you wanted to pair him with Corey Davis, or you could just change your defense and go Galladay, Woods, Allen, Edmonds.
Mike Evans has the size advantage for the matchups don't matter crowd.
There you go. All right, let's talk about running backs, and let's play the what if game. We all know that David Johnson's going to be out, so just assume David Johnson's going to be out. Let's say that Alvin Kamara is out this week. Does that change?
Probably just got to fade the best value on the slate, I think.
Davis, does that change things for you? If Kamara is out this week,
dude, whatever I choose is just going to be wrong. If I play Latavius Murray, he's getting 6 points, leaving early, and Dwayne Washington's going to have the game of his life. Like, it just doesn't matter.
Well, I didn't correct Davis earlier, but Alvin Kamara was actually at practice on Thursday.
Yeah.
Did he practice in full?
Limited bases with no braces or anything.
But didn't they also release Zach Zinner this week, which means
so the thing that's weird about it is they have a bye week coming up, and it just seems weird as 10-point home favorites for them to bring him back from what they described as a high ankle sprain. Like it seems. And I'm not saying that means Kamara is or isn't going to play. It would be odd if he did, to me, I guess.
Malcolm Brown already ruled out this week.
Yeah, tough scenes.
Davis, what do you do with this?
Gurley 100,000% has to be in your GPP mix, I think. Because he is – Todd Gurley's really just evolutionary Sony Michel in terms of 19 carries, 37 yards, 3 touchdowns. And I think the most realistic scenario – Robert Woods, 12 targets, 4 receptions, 3 defensive pass interference draws, and all set up a Todd Gurley 1-yard touchdown. And
the Daily Roto analysis has gotten really deep with these crystal ball projections. My God.
You gotta project the game script. Peter, what's your take on the Rams running back situation?
Yeah, I played Gurley last week in my single entry for the Bankroll Challenge hosted by RotoGrinders, and how he only had 1 catch in that game was truly frustrating. And Darrell Henderson, their opportunities weren't too different. He touched the ball 12 times. At $4,000, I am starting to talk myself into a little Darrell Henderson across the
This is not
action.
good. This is not good.
So in cash games on DraftKings, I think you really want to start with Darrell Henderson and Duke Johnson as your running backs.
That's the alpha move, right, Tuttle?
I think we should actually talk about Ty Johnson, though. So
yeah, we will in a second. But this is I just want really what you're going to do with Gurley and Henderson. Levitan tweeted out that even though it was a blowout, Darrell Henderson played 34% of the snaps last week.
Nine touches to 4 in the first half.
And isn't there a scenario where versus the Bengals they could both get there at those salaries too?
Yeah, but then you're talking about Goff and the wide receivers, all none of them getting there probably.
Why is that?
Or the Rams legit scoring 50.
Does anybody know where this game's being played?
I didn't until about 16 minutes ago. Is there good Robert Woods London splits, maybe?
Oh, yeah, dude. When that guy has a belly full of fish and chips, he pops off.
All right, let's talk about the Ty Johnson. Do you think he's a good play, like the best play on DraftKings this week, Davis?
So I have been DMing Detroit Lions beat writers trying to get more information on how the team plans on using them. Chris Burke, who writes for The Athletic, did write a pretty good article about what the team plans on doing at running back, and he made some pretty interesting points, which was, so everyone kind of thinks of Ty Johnson as passing down, change of pace, whatever. He's actually the biggest running back on the team. He's 5'10", 210 pounds. That's bigger than Paul Perkins. That's bigger than, as Peter would say, Tra Carson. And J.D. McKissick is 180 pounds. He real, as Tuttle would attest, he's really best used in space. As a third down back, as a slot guy, kind of like a Tavon Austin role, if you will. So I think a very realistic projection here is 60% of the team's rushing attempts and 10% to 13% of the team's targets. And that is just a smash play against the Giants, who have allowed the third most receptions to running backs this year.
Yeah, I mean, the issue is he's 4,900, Michelle is 5,200, James White is 5,100.
Well, the issue is actually that his floor is what Kerryon Johnson did before leaving the game last week, which is 3 DraftKings points. He might just get it might just be Paul Perkins season. It might just be Tra Carson season. It might just be J.D. McKissick season. We don't know anything yet.
I mean, you feel like if they weren't comfortable, they would have just brought C.J. Anderson back or something, though.
Well, the problem is they got Carson from the Packers practice squad, so logistically it's hard to cut a guy you got from another practice squad, and then they already had Perkins there, and I think maybe C.J. Anderson's just dust.
Yeah, the thing for me too, I think the big one is he going to get the goal line work? You mentioned he's the bigger.
Didn't he get all the goal line work inside the 10 last week?
He got about 75% of the running back work after Kerryon left last week.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. They've since promoted those guys, and we know how much Patricia loves. Even early in the season, he was using C.J. Anderson there before they released him. So I'm just worried about some Patricia shenanigans. But if you guaranteed me the goal line work for Ty Johnson, then I think he's very attractive.
Yeah, I mean, he's not cheap enough to be a lock, and you have to weigh.
For him to be a lock, he'd have to be priced like McKissick.
All right, so would you say that he's more of a GPP play than a cash play, or the opposite?
I mean, I just think he is. It's very hard for me to say. I don't really feel confident
Sounds
saying
like
anything.
it. Sounds like it.
Well, let's take a look at ownership numbers.
I'm just so shook. It's just.
We got him at 26%, which is spicy.
He is not a good play at 26%.
I will say FanDuel, he is close to a lock because he's 5,200. I mean, he's very cheap there, and you can play whoever you want the other two spots. All right. Let's talk about Christian McCaffrey now. Todd, I want to get your take on Christian McCaffrey.
I mean, he's expensive.
Yeah. Both sites, over 9K.
Granted, he still put up, 21 points 2 weeks ago, even though he had only 31 yards on the ground, which kind of shows,
he is the mega alpha touchdown scorer in the NFL right now. The team is just they wanted him to score touchdowns.
So in the 49ers you clearly want to attack them on the ground. They've been dominant with their pass rush. They've been dominant.
We got a funnel.
Pass.
We got a run funnel.
It's not a funnel, but they're not going to drop Kyle. They're not going to drop Kyle Allen back 45 times in this game. They're going to hand the ball off to McCaffrey, and it's not as on paper. It's not as tough of a matchup on the ground as it is in the air.
They're only 5.5 point dogs on the road, which it's not like it's not like it's going to be a blowout. Now they're not projected really high as far as a team total, but he just
Latavius had a 17-point team total. Guess what? It didn't matter, bro. Team totals don't matter. Defenses don't matter.
When you've got a running back that is getting all of the love, like Latavius last week or Christian McCaffrey any week,
but isn't that what makes it hard? Because you can say that for Saquon Barkley too, for $300 cheaper. He came in, didn't seed a
It's
single.
actually not hard. It's actually not hard to just not play him.
To not play Saquon?
I've played Saquon 0 times this year. I probably played him a little bit in GVP last week.
The point I'm trying to make is Saquon Barkley came back from injury last year, and they didn't give a single touch to any other running back on the roster, which is the argument we're making for McCaffrey too. He's $300 cheaper and in a better matchup. So, it is hard to, if you're picking between those two, just not save the 300 and go with the better matchup if we think of them as equal talents and seeing a similar amount of work.
The Giants are too dusty, though. Like the Panthers defense is better, so the game is just more likely to be reasonable. The Giants can just be losing by 20 in any given game because they don't have any good players. They have one good player, and he's their running back.
Davis, is Leonard Fournette running back 1 for you this week?
I mean, he probably is the guy I would start building cash game lineups with, and obviously things change if Matt Patricia says we want to get Tyson Warren.
Oh, you're looking for the coach speak. You're looking for the coach speak.
And it's also different if Alvin Kamara is out. It's different if DJ is ruled out for sure. Like there are just ways that can be different. But for me, I don't like Leonard Fournette gets the same workload as Barkley and McCaffrey. And he's at home, and he's against a dusty team, and he is $2,000 cheaper than them.
The only problem is Leonard Fournette doesn't score touchdowns.
Yeah, he just doesn't score. He is the most touchdown regression due guy in ever.
144 rush attempts, 1 TD.
How brutal.
He has the same amount of rushing touchdowns as Robert Woods.
who Davis took the time to send a tweet to a few minutes ago while we were
I'm just asking him if he's in London. I just need to know. I need to know what his mental space is like.
All right, last question before we move on. Chris Carson.
Feels like a crazy week that we haven't mentioned him yet, but he has the highest ownership projection.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the chalk is going to be Fournette, Carson, and Johnson. That's what the chalk kind of feels like initially. Obviously, that's assuming that Kamara does play. But I don't think Edmonds is going to be chalk this week because of his price tag. But Davis, you're locking him in, assuming that David Johnson doesn't play, which he's not going to.
I mean, Chase Edmonds he's just he's going to get me 18 DraftKings points, and I hope that's enough.
All right. Well, we spent a lot of time on running backs, but running backs
there are so many good running back players.
Yeah, running backs do matter this week. Yeah.
I don't think they do.
It's they do matter, Tuttle. All right, wide receivers. Hopkins versus Thomas. Davis, are you Thomas both matchups?
Yeah, I'm Thomas.
Fuller with Houston. You've got Houston with the 3rd highest team total in the slate. Saints with the 4th highest team total in the slate.
So DeAndre Hopkins is projected 4 points higher than our 3rd projected wide receiver. Michael Thomas is projected 4 points higher than DeAndre Hopkins. He is 3 standard deviations better of a play than the 3rd highest projected wide receiver. So I can't you think you just got to play Michael Thomas this week.
Tuttle, you agree?
I mean, in cash, yeah.
Yeah. And that's why we need values, because it would be nice to play Hopkins and Thomas. All right,
yeah, that's why.
Question: could you play Hopkins in the flex spot in cash?
I'm gonna walk off this show. We just spent 20 minutes talking about how
Nate Nolan would do it.
WWND.
Yeah, if the warp says it, what is it?
Whopper weighted opportunity ranking.
Yeah, if the Whopper says it.
The 75-cent Burger King stat.
He said Whopper about 100 times on last week's show.
It was really something. No, I mean, I think the most likely thing that you're going to be doing in cash games is Michael Thomas and then two of your favorite cheap guys. And
Stills would have to be top of the list, right?
I think it's probably Dede.
All right. Tuttle, who are your cheap guys this week?
Kenny, like you mentioned, Dede.
All right, let me throw some other ones.
We made fun of Beasley, but like
Beasley, if you got some heart, that's the play this week that other people are not going to make. That the numbers say is like basically a smash.
I'll have you hold my beer with a heart play. How about Alex Erickson?
He was the alpha last week.
Snaps, targets, and routes per drop back up every single week over the past 3 weeks.
All right.
Maybe I'll hit him up on Twitter, see how he's like in London.
And Denver, of course, they lost Manny Sanders. So you've got Cortland
He's like
Sutton.
Barely been targeted, though, the last couple weeks.
You've got Cortland Sutton and Deshaun Hamilton. Hamilton is 3.3K as a potential wide receiver 3 on DraftKings.
Did you see the coach speak on Hamilton?
Let us hear it.
The literal quote was, "I'm not sure we're gonna rush him back. I'd like to see or rush him into a huge role. I'd like to see him have a little more oomph." The word was oomph.
Nope.
Which when Tuttle said he wasn't feeling inspired today, I was hoping to get a little more oomph from him.
All right.
Well, brought it.
What about Sutton then?
I love Sutton.
Sutton's a really good play. Yeah.
I'd rather play Noah Fant than Deshaun Hamilton.
And Noah Fant would be a good cheap play too. I kind of agree with you. The thing is, there's just another tight end that you're just lock button in. All right, let's talk about the Atlanta situation because they lost Mohamed Sanu. Calvin Ridley, especially on FanDuel, where he's 5.4K, is in play. What's your take on the Atlanta receivers, Tuttle?
Are you going to go with the 12 gauge? Russell Gage, man.
I would have pegged you as a Hardy man.
Yeah, I would like Justin.
Russell.
All right. Well, what about Calvin Ridley?
I mean, Matt Ryan has not practiced yet, and the line is off the board at Pinnacle, so I probably would just not sweat it too hard.
I don't know. Matt Schaub, though. I mean, maybe Julio Jones finally gets targets with Schaub under center. Like, that could be a thing.
It's not a great matchup this week. All right. Corey Davis, where he mentioned 4.4K. He was the wide receiver 1 last week. 20 DK points, lots of targets. It's amazing that with Tannehill, they're now doing these tight window throws. I definitely think that he's a guy that has high upside.
Dave, as boots on the ground in Tennessee, do you prefer Corey Davis over A.J. Brown? A.J. Brown looks electric, man.
This is kind of a surprising take.
Yeah.
No, because I'm going with the guy that got the targets last week. Although
A.J. Brown
didn't A.J. get like one or two less?
More
did
targets, but that's okay, yeah.
Did he have more targets?
Yeah, he had 8.
They both were the main targets. Delaney being out pretty much helped.
Well, Corey Davis actually had less than A.J. Brown.
Targets or catches?
Targets. 8 targets for AJ, 7 for Corey.
All right, so you're splitting the difference.
It's the thought that counts.
But
I thought you were going to say Corey Davis is actually on the field for the majority of snaps, but
both are in play though against his Tampa Bay defense, right?
Yeah,
especially with Tannehill, especially with the other high-price skill players. It just seems like pick one, pair it with Godwin or Evans, or maybe Brate if O.J. Howard's in. And then
print.
Davis, set your GPP exposure live on air to the Titans receivers.
Give us the constraints too.
Yeah, let us.
0 Corey Davis, probably 8 to 10% A.J. Brown and 0 Tannehill.
That would make sense.
If Delaney Walker's out, though, I think you can let Jonnu Smith in because tight end is a stone disaster this week for tournaments.
Sounds like somebody was on Jonnu Smith before he became popular.
Jonnu Smith hasn't done anything this season.
I still think he only ran like 19 routes. Yeah, 19
I mean, he is legit dust, but like go look at we have 4 positive values at the tight end position this week. Like it's a tough scene.
All right, last one before we move on. You've got the Detroit wide receivers, Davis. You mentioned Stafford as the guy who could be QB1. What are you doing with the Detroit receivers with Stafford?
Do you want me to just go ahead and give you my group? I'll give you my group that I have for my.
Oh my gosh!
You would do that for us?
I would love it. I would freaking.
I'm just going. Every Matt Stafford lineup has to have a minimum of 2: Marvin Jones, Kenny Golladay, Ty Johnson, J.D. McKissic, T.J. Hawkinson, and I think I guess like Amendola is like the 0.09% type play, but
yeah.
You guys know me. I'm not down with the Amendola.
So you just told us that your Matt Stafford lineups will have 2 of the skilled players.
Yeah, that was groundbreaking, personally, I thought.
Well, I'm just saying because I group my stuff out by quarterbacks, so those guys are going to be like 15 to 30% exposure probably.
You're going to wake up in a cold sweat on Saturday night and realize you don't have enough Marvin Hall in there.
Would you rather play Golladay or Marvin Jones this week?
Golladay, for sure.
Golladay.
Peter, 3 for 3?
No, dude, I'm telling you, I chase the box score now.
Box scores.
Buy low's done, man. It's Pete's buy high model. Go back to the guys that just crushed at low ownership. Seriously, it's free at petesbuyhighmodel.com.
All right, let's open up FanDuel and build a lineup there.
FanDuel NFL.
NFL.com. One last question. Tyler Boyd, it's 5.6K. Do you play receivers against this Rams team, Davis?
Hey, I'll play Boyd.
I honestly wasn't expecting that.
He's got good London splits.
He touched me in a bad place last week, and
no, because if you want to get your hand in the dirt about it, he's probably going to avoid Jalen Ramsey. Probably Ramsey will be at Tate's spot.
There you go. I love how you made fun of me for saying who's going to shadow who, and then you mentioned
you tried to bring up shadowing for Dolphins wide receivers, bro.
Right. You just brought it up for Bengals wide receivers
for one of the 20 best wide receivers in fantasy. My apologies.
Who's one of the 20 best receivers in fantasy?
Tyler Boyd.
Well, after you go 0 for 5 to start the game on targets last week, and Alex Harrison becomes the alpha. Sorry, you lost me. It's so Davis, though, to make fun and then tout the matchups do matter.
Dude, my tout game right now, if you can't tell, it's all over the place, dude. Like I'm like a pitcher that just has no command of the off-speed stuff.
What's sad is that you're trying to become me. That's what's sad. Or maybe that you're turning into me.
No.
All right. FanDuel, Davis, you get to start just because I feel bad for you right now.
FanDuel, DraftKings, NFL. You know what's funny? I'm actually already on FanDuel because one of my buddies asked for a FanDuel single game lineup,
That's
so
hilarious.
I didn't even have to make the joke this week. Can we start with Leonard Fournette?
Sure. Go Fournette.
Actually, Leonard's not playing anymore.
Yeah.
He got kicked off the team. He got kicked off the
he's
team,
not with
right?
LSU, so we have to go with Leonard, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, go with Leonard.
All right, dang.
All right, Tuttle.
Why, thank you. I'll go Ty Johnson.
Oh, you know who the lock is on? One of you guys will do it.
All right, and I'm actually going to use the flex
Don't get your
spot.
hopes up.
I'm going to use the flex spot, and I'm going to go Christian McCaffrey.
You just blocked me. God damn it.
And see what we can do. Because I knew you were trying to.
I actually did look at FanDuel salaries this week, and I'm curious if you guys agree with me on this guy as a lock.
All right. Overzet?
First of all, I'd just like to give everyone an update. My FanDuel balance is down from $870 to $370 after I fired at the $5 RotoGrinders single entry series on FanDuel. We'll try to run it back this week. I believe, is there a $3 one? We'll see what we can do there. I wanted to play Barkley, and Kitchen rushed to block me there. Now I'm frazzled, and let's just play Austin Hooper at tight end because who cares?
Oh, what are you doing?
Hoop, there it is.
No.
He has a good connection with Matt Schaub for sure.
Yeah, last week he was.
Dude, Falcons guys are not playable. If Matt Schaub makes the Seahawks,
send me a head-to-head on FanDuel.
dude, someone
Send me a head-to-head for $3 on FanDuel.
Send me an invite, man.
Someone played double tight end against me last week, and they didn't play Waller or
Here are all the tight ends in that spot. Ertz, Henry, Kittle, Evan Ingram, and Darren Waller, and Peter chooses the guy with the backup quarterback.
It was despite
Going
me for not letting me get Barkley in this lineup.
Ertz is tight end too at this point, though.
Ertz is like the dust. He's more like dust Ertz.
Davis, you are becoming me. You don't realize it.
You really stuck your hand in the dirt on that joke, Davis.
Guys, I need to book a win. So
that was not good. That was not.
Sticking your hand in the dirt is the not getting your hands dirty, but sticking your hand in the dirt.
Good
all right, Davis.
I don't even like Austin Hooper. Like,
well, no one mentioned the lock yet. I think Kenny Stills at 5,700 is just too good.
Kenny Stills.
Because he's perfect for FanDuel, like 0.5 PPR, so he's fine on like 4 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown.
All right. Tuttle? Need a quarterback. We need 2 wide receivers. So why don't you just give us a pairing, Tuttle?
Would you like me to give you a pairing, David?
I would love it.
Let's go with Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett.
No. We didn't talk about Tyler Lockett, and I feel like that's a win in Davis's book.
I kind of want to be like the cool hipster bro and say DK Metcalf, but Metcalf is only 600 less than Lockett on FanDuel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
there might be a reason for that.
The Seahawks are going to win this game by many, many points if Matt Schaub is the starter.
Yeah, Tyler Lockett. I should not. It was a mistake by me.
Did you play him in cash last week, bro?
No. I'm saying letting Tuttle pick the quarterback wide receiver.
Yeah, I just picked one of the best pairings of the week. It's terrible. I know.
It's really leaving me up a creek here with this final. If we plug in what's our defense salary that we're going to go with here? How low can you go?
Maybe go like Broncos against Indy, 3,400.
Maybe we could get another Matt Schaub pass catcher in this lineup.
Oh, I like that. Kind of the double stack without the quarterback.
Hey, if you go Denver Broncos defense,
yeah. Let's just
Tyrell Williams. You can go.
Hey,
we'll get my boy Cortland Sutton in there.
All right.
Yeah, maybe we can
Have we helped anyone out
Peter
in the
make the
show? Has anyone learned anything from this?
Yes.
that this is a cash lineup.
Yes. All right.
This lineup actually isn't like terrible.
No, it's not. It's not terrible. No.
It doesn't really make it move. But
This is like the GPP winning lineup that no one will play because it's.
It's not a double stack with a bring back. It's not allowed to win per the data.
It's
this
a
in a
single
beginner.
stack. So, go ahead, Peter.
Oh no, I'm just seeing what $3 contests are available for me to put this in.
All right, tight end. Make a case for Darren Waller not being the number 1 tight end cash game quarterback after you faded him last week, Davis.
He's projected higher than every other tight end by 4 points.
I'd like to jump in and say that I would make the argument against him as a cash game quarterback because I don't think he's going to throw the ball.
Oh, good call.
Interesting.
Good call.
Yeah.
Tight end, sorry. All right. So
this is the worst I've ever seen the tight end position, honestly.
Brait will be interesting if Howard's out.
you got Brait, you got Hawkinson against the Giants.
I like Hawkinson on DraftKings.
Yeah, he's 3,500 on DK. On FanDuel, you play Waller or you play one of the other high-price tight ends. Hunter Henry is 4.9K. He's, somewhat cheap. Outside of that, it gets it's tough. Maybe Kittle is the
Kittle. It's
GPP play.
I think for tournaments, but I mean he's projected for basically the same points as Zach Ertz and T.J. Hawkinson, which is just wild. But it's just because they're running so much. They are the most run-heavy team in the NFL thus far.
Any takes on tight ends after that awful Austin Hooper call, Peter?
Yeah, I really like Austin Hooper this week. How about if was Jared Cook back at practice? I got a flow chart here with Josh Hill's name written on it. If you guys check it out. It's in the backup flow chart is the one that's actually been hitting of late with the Red Ellison. So I like Josh Hill if Jared Cook doesn't go.
Wait. For 3 seconds, I was just I thought I transported to 2014, and people were touting Josh Hill as a great late round pick in MFL 10s.
I guess you had to have been there.
That was too much, dude. I was not ready for Josh Hill's name to show up on this show.
Dude, the flow chart's undefeated, man.
Except for, no, it was undefeated because Red Ellison scored. You're
That's
right.
what I just said.
Literally what he just spent his time on.
I did play Evan Ingram last week. I got to admit, I did play him in tournaments, and I feel like a big dumb idiot.
I'm personally insulted that Davis has yet to tout Ben Watson.
Back on the team, bro, crushing it. 5 targets in his first game back. Oh,
running those routes.
Here's the thing. I really want O.J. Howard to just not play now so I can play Cameron Brate in DraftKings cash games.
You would still fade Waller on DK.
That's how I get back to even, Dave. That's how I do it.
You got to take a stand somewhere, my man.
Dude, what do the projections even know? What have projections ever done for me, bro?
F them.
Actually, I got one more really. This is a Tuttle's terrible take for tight end here.
Dude, how are there even names left?
It's real bad.
You already mentioned Josh Hill. How do we go downhill from here?
What if I told you there was a tight end on the Seahawks that had 6 targets last week named Jacob Hollister?
Actually, yes.
Not.
Yes, 100%. I am on board.
Davis, no, Tuttle saying yes.
I am on board.
I didn't even know he was in the player pool until just this very second.
Yeah, man. He's our generation's Luke Wilson. Get on board.
The Patriots should have kept him. 6 targets, 16% target share last week.
Don't say I never gave you anything, people.
57% of snaps. Hey, you might be onto something. That cheap.
Speaking of Hollister, I could see Peter wearing Hollister when he was in the
100%. Pete jammed. Big time.
Abercrombie and Fitch and Hollister were his jam.
Now, I couldn't afford Abercrombie & Fitch, but definitely Hollister. I will post a photo of me wearing a Hollister shirt after this.
With puka shells?
With the
puka shells?
I think I'm wearing a Long Beach State, with the bill really curved. I think I am with a cute girl in the photo, so that'll help with the likes.
Yeah, I like tweeting out photos of 14-year-old girls, too.
Oh, boy, that will not make the highlight clip. All right.
She's getting cropped out, you perv.
Okay. Let's wrap this up with a little bit of a mailbag really quick to Tuttle's question. We had lots of these questions. I asked for questions, and this was the one that came with the most. People are strange, weird, and we love them. But what is Peter Overzet's Mary screw or kill of the three on the show?
Well, it's not MS. Okay, it's FK.
Okay. People can figure out. So Peter, you got to give your MFK.
Oh, they're asking for me for you three?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
This is so easy.
I don't.
Everyone has the same answer to this question. Everyone who's ever been asked this answers it the same way.
Yeah. Come on, we're running out of time. Come on.
All right.
Just kill Kitchen already.
I'm gonna settle down with Tuttle.
What?
Thank you. Yes.
How would you settle down with?
This is already how no one else has answered.
How would you settle down with Tuttle?
And I'm gonna kill Davis because he never lets me talk. And I'm gonna f Dave because he looks like my favorite musical artist.
Al King. He's just gonna picture Al King, Willie.
Sorry, I forgot I'm not supposed to cuss on the show. But we're playing FMK. It just kind of flows off the tongue.
All right. Tuttle as the house husband is just a terrible mistake.
He's gonna help us save money on mattresses.
I take care of my 4 children.
Everyone who's ever been asked that on any sort of format has always gone, kill me, bang Tuttle, marry Kitchen, 100% of the time.
Yeah, I'm marriage material. Okay. I'm
very good.
This is a legit question. We'll go to Tuttle. Any season-long trends you've noticed so far that you think the field is behind on? For example, feels like paying up for QB is better this season. So any trends that you feel like people haven't caught up to? Tuttle.
No.
All right. Davis?
The field is sharp, man.
Davis?
I think that everyone on Twitter talks about stacking and correlation, and no one actually does it. The highest projected quarterback and the highest owned quarterback the last 2 weeks have been double stacked in less than 1.5% of total lineups. So everyone on Twitter talks about it. No one actually does it. There's still an edge in correlation and in lineup construction.
All right. Another question from JP Waller says, will Pete make 2 flow charts for Saints 2 tight ends? He's already done that. And then Ross Cardno at R Cardno says, can Davis tell us 3 players he's definitely fading so we can put them in our lineups? And
we got Sony Michel.
Sony Michel far.
No, I'm not. Here we go. I will give it to you right now.
Tannehill, you're fading.
I will go 3 good plays that I'm actually fading. I will not have any Derrick Henry. I won't be playing him at all. I won't be playing Drew Brees at all. He will not be in my quarterback player pool. And let's go with I won't be playing any Allen Robinson.
Okay. So 3
Allen Robinson confirmed smash.
Yeah, 3 barely owned players. Maybe those guys will
took a huge stance on those.
Yeah, way to put your hands in the dirt.
They're all top 10 values on DR.
I'd like to say I'm not playing Marcel Aitman.
Yeah, that's a big stance from you.
Or Cordero Patterson.
You think a quarterback against Arizona is just like people are going to ignore that? He's
gonna be under 5%.
All right. The other.
Okay, I'll book over 5% in the Millionaire Maker for 25.
On Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I obviously get he doesn't play this week. Built in to potential $25.
No, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, it was not stipulated that he has to start.
That is a stipulation.
No, you can't add stipulations in at the end of the bet. You already booked $25 that Drew Brees is going to be over 5%.
We have this. We've got to go, but we do want people's comments, your feedback, your terrible takes on YouTube. And listen, I'm going to give away something for people that give us 5 stars because we got crushed on iTunes with Davis. Someone gave us a 1-star review. The title is SWOLECAST, and the only description is the SWOLECAST is literally terrible. And the other one is person 159932. He said would be great except Davis Mattek. Dude single-handedly ruins the show he's on. I guess nobody else minds the incessant upspeak. So we need positive reviews on iTunes on RotoGrinders NFL.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know. If anything, Davis is downspeak.
Like, no, does he mean upwards, like the game?
Like upwards inflection at the end of a sentence.
Yeah, maybe that's it. All right, but again, Brian Demain, you get something, and then we'll also give something to next week's one of the commenters. So, final thoughts. Tuttle, what was your terrible take? I feel like gave one. I feel like you gave a terrible take already.
Oh, Duke Johnson.
Duke Johnson, that's what it was. All right, Davis, final thoughts?
I just really hope I win something. I just don't care, man. Anything, please. Send help.
Overzet?
Throw on your puka shells and play Jacob Hollister.
I'm going to throw in my puka shells and then have you draw me.
Well, I already told you what I was going to do to you earlier.
Wearing the puka shells and only the puka shells. All right, that will do it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks to Simon, our producer, for putting up with us. And I don't know how corporate keeps on putting the show out there, but we appreciate everyone that listens and watches. We'll see you next week, week 9.
Except for you, Mike Concho. You suck.
Oh, yeah, and also, speaking of Tuttle, projections, Tuttle, Noto, I do not want to leave this out. Tuttle, Noto, Jamino, we've got an awesome list where the projections are now premium for NBA. They're going through SBK. They're going through every night and day, and I'm privy to these internal conversations. It's our secret Slack chat. And
I bet Tuttle and Noto discussing basketball is just A+ stuff.
It's just off the charts.
Tuttle is really just like telling us where we're wrong and where we need to be right. So, anyways,
Kitchen, you're helping with the projections.
Nope. Kitchen's staying out of them. Kitchen's just learning from the pros, and that's what everyone else should do by signing up.
A lot of hands on deck too, behind the scenes. Scott, Bob, Napster Man, lots of people.
Lots of people. It's really for the casual player, for the expert player. We got you covered. Prepare or react. We got you covered with the NBA premium product over there at RotoGrinders. That's it for us. SWOLECAST Week 8 is in the books. We'll see you Week 9 here on RotoGrinders.com.